Welcome to TPUSA Live. I'm John Root, sitting next to Joe Bob. The boys are back.
Boys are back in town. I was thinking of the High School Musical Boys and back. I'm gonna stop.
No, we will not get into High School Musical here. No, what we're gonna get into? Some good news and some crazy news.
Oh,
and some sad news.
I'm on a roller coaster of emotions here. What are you doing to me?
Welcome to TPUSA Live. Hands up! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Coming up first, we got Human Events Daily with Jack Posobiec. Always a guy to go to for everything Ukraine. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and then he breaks down in such a concise way what's going on in the world.
He's the guy to go to for just about anything, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ukraine, Russia, that whole thing over there, but also just things in general. Human Events Daily is always the place that I go to, like, learn things.
You should, if you don't have alerts or subscribed or anything for Jack Posobiec, you need to do that. Follow him on Twitter, follow him all the social media, and make sure that you subscribe to that podcast because he is the guy to go to for absolutely everything that's going on. And I love when he's able to join TPUSA Live on the couch.
Like yesterday. Great information yesterday.
It was fantastic. And then TPUSA Live on the couch. So we have a special game show edition of TPUSA Live.
A game show? Do I win?
Behind door number 1. No doors here, but it's a lot of fun. We play games like Real Deal or Fake News, Law or Nah, Would You Rather, and we are joined by some great TPUSA contributors. We got Jordan Rachel, Kendall Jones, and the producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Clegg, joins us as well. It's a lot of fun.
I can see how they are fun, but part of those kind of games, when we talk about law or nah, some of the laws that exist in this country are outlandish and need to be done away with immediately.
It's insane. It's a really, really fun show, and you really get to see a different side of Kendall Jones. She comes out firing because she's a big 2A gal, but comes out firing verbally as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm excited to watch that.
Unfiltered, wild content here on TPUSA Live. It's a lot of fun. Once again, game show edition there. Sitting on the couch. Right after that, you're going to get to see our award-winning documentary from our TPUSA productions team, A Long Walk in Socialism, where they go check out an Indian reservation locally here in Arizona, and that won a Rocky Mountain Emmy. Because if you really want to see the effects of socialism, go to an Indian reservation.
Yeah, no, seriously, that actually was a fascinating watch. I hadn't watched it until like last week, and I finally sat down, took the time to watch it. Not very long. Really interesting watch. So stick around.
And there's a reason it's award-winning. They did a great job. The TPUSA productions team always does an incredible job with all that content. So make sure you stick around for that. And then you got a brand new episode of Politics with Alex Clark, the pop culture queen.
I love.
She talks about David Albarn. He was a part of the Gorillas. You remember the Gorillas?
Wasn't it one guy? I don't know. Yeah, the Gorillas, I'm not going to start singing their songs. Animated gorilla band.
Joe Bob's a great singer. I'm not a good singer. Hopefully you figured that out by now, but Alex Clark breaks down his death wish. Also,
you took that for a turn for the worst.
Whoa. Also, Disney's got a new horror film coming out. I guess it's about a doctor that dismembers people and eats them.
Is this a new Fauci documentary, or what is that? I'm just kidding.
My goodness.
To my knowledge, Dr. Fauci does not dismember and ingest human beings.
No, that's not in the National Geographic documentary they put out there?
I don't know. It probably.
Maybe that's why the ratings were so bad.
Did anybody watch it?
No. No. When you see ratings like that, you do not watch.
It was a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score.
Oh,
there was a Fauci. People might not even know there was a Fauci documentary that came out on Disney Plus, and it did poorly, to say the least.
Oh yeah. So that and so much more in Politics with Alex Clark. But before we go, tell us about your first experience coming here to TPUSA as a contributor. First few weeks, how's it been going?
As a contributor, it's been incredible.
Yeah.
Literally everybody does everything that I don't want to do, which is fantastic for me. But the team has been great here. You've been very supportive and helpful.
Very kind.
I can't, no complaints. What is there to complain about?
Well, there's been a lot of support, and we really appreciate you guys supporting TPUSA Live. It's been a great run so far, a lot of fun. Obviously, we got great content for you every single day. You got some more great content from our guy, Jack Posobiec. Coming up next, Human Events Daily. See you soon.
If you want to see an example of failed socialism, go to an Indian reservation.
A lot of the soldiers were very aggressive, so the women did get raped. Muerte means a place of suffering, dying, starvation, nothing good.
I didn't realize how corrupt things were. I didn't realize what kind of environment we were living in.
We had no running water, we had no power.
They de-incentivize people from, opportunity.
That's why our suicide rate has climbed up astronomical rates. I think that's what I'm also projecting to my people, even if I have to fight you to save you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily, powered by Turning Point USA. Today's stories: report, a CCP hypersonic missile scientist has defected to the West. Next, the U.S. Navy is attempting to recover the F-35 that crashed onto a Navy aircraft carrier and then fell into the South China Sea before the Chinese Navy can seize it. Third, massive protests in Kiev over new tax law. Western media completely ignore them. And then finally, Durham, new report out, a DNC lawyer called Mark Elias, you guys know who that is, has given grand jury testimony. All this and more ahead, Human Events Daily. Bombshell report out of the UK Express. Global tensions grow as CCP rocket scientist defects to the West. This report says that the MI6 played a key role in helping a senior Chinese scientist defect to the West, citing intelligence sources. This specifically is a scientist who was working on the hypersonic missile. You guys remember the hypersonic missile? This was something that when China deployed this thing, it circumvented the entire globe, right? Circumnavigated the entire globe, and was something that struck a lot of fear throughout the media, throughout a lot of the intelligentsia, the Pentagon, the think tanks in Washington, D.C. Here's General Milley discussing it.
What we saw was a very significant event of a test of a hypersonic weapon system, and it is very concerning. I think I saw in some of the newspapers they used the term Sputnik moment. I don't know if it's quite a Sputnik moment, but I think it's very close to that. So it's a very significant technological event that occurred, or test that occurred by the Chinese, and it has all of our attention, and we're paying it. But that's just one weapon system. The Chinese military capabilities are much greater than that.
So the report from the Express continues. His escape from Beijing has allowed Britain and the U.S. to accelerate defense programs against the use of hypersonic missiles. It could also take China 2 years to tweak its systems and render this intelligence ineffective. Described as a rocket technician, the Chinese national was attached to a state-owned aviation industry corporation of China, where he helped develop a mid-range hypersonic boost glide vehicle capable of carrying the DF-17 missiles up to a range of 2,000 miles. So this specifically was a scientist who was working on that glide vehicle. And remember, that was the biggest issue with this thing, because of course you can detect a ballistic missile launch. That's not hard. Our satellites can do that. Our Navy ships can do that when you're conducting BDM, ballistic missile defense, or BMD. This is what you look for. It's very, very obvious to see a ballistic missile. The problem was that when this thing goes hypersonic in its glide phase, when the glider detaches with that nuclear warhead on it, that is when it becomes, number one, extremely maneuverable, extremely fast, and then number three, hard to detect. Well, it looks like that if this report is true, this defector can shed some light on that and give US and UK and allied militaries throughout Five Eyes a way to actually combat this new system. Sources say the scientist in his 30s, is connected with a more recent hypersonic missile delivery system that can circle the globe before descending from space and using heat-seeking technology to strike any target on Earth. Despite his apparent success, however, it was resentment at having been passed over for promotion rather than political dissent towards his masters at Beijing, which persuaded him to make contact with a British intelligence agent in Hong Kong at the end of September last year. You know, when we look for the potential hallmarks of someone who could be a double agent or someone who could be turned, right? You want someone who's disgruntled. A disgruntled employee, right,
is someone who easily could be turned. You also look for political ideology. This is the same thing that goes on in the espionage game here in the United States. When the CCP or the Iranians are looking to turn somebody, they look for, number one, they were talking about this, by the way, during the previous administration. They wanted to find, if you were somebody who was completely anti-conservative, if you were hardcore leftist, if you were an MSNBC devotee and you had access to top secret information, that was the type of person they were recruiting. And they did this at DIA. They were doing this right in the intelligence community, actually trying to recruit people that had those type of left-wing politics. Knowing he faced a firing squad if discovered, this middleman demanded asylum for himself, his wife, and his child. A call was made to Vauxhall Cross, the London headquarters of the Secret Intelligence Service, known as MI6, and a 3-person team comprising 2 intelligence officers and a technical specialist were ready to deploy to Hong Kong. I want to keep in mind, by the way, giving the details like this, the story like this, take it with a grain of salt. We know this is coming from MI6, so this is probably a cover story of some sort, but here's where we go. The scientist could be a Beijing plant. A cat and mouse game developed over the next few days in which the scientist's credentials were copper-bottomed. It was during this process that the technician, an avid fan of cricket, who was once believed to have studied in England, began to reveal select details about the hypersonic developments. Eventually, a plan was hatched in which he and his family would travel to Hong Kong using a specially developed route. Once there, the scientist was spirited to a secure location where he was debriefed by the MI6 team. And so then it says he was flown to a US air base in Germany, then on to America via the UK. If this story is true, CCP, we're coming for you. We've got the defectors, we've got the information. Well, the race is on. Will the US Navy defeat the Chinese Navy in recovering a $100 million US F-35 stealth fighter that crashed on the deck of the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier and then subsequently fell into the South China Sea? Now, fortunately, the pilot was able to eject in this situation and is safe. However, we're told that 7 US sailors that were on board on the deck of that aircraft carrier were injured. And of course, we pray for their health and their recovery. But, and this is out of the Daily Mail, the Navy termed this a landing mishap. The pilot was forced to eject, 7 military personnel. However, the situation here, out of the US 7th Fleet, that's a fleet where I serve, the US Navy is making recovery operation arrangements for the F-35 Charlie aircraft involved in the mishap aboard the USS Carl Vinson CVN-70 in the South China Sea. We cannot speculate on what the PRC's intentions are. That PRC, People's Republic of China, their Navy, the People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN. It leaves the Navy with a complex salvage operation if it is able to avoid its most sophisticated warplane crammed with futuristic technology falling into the hands of the CCP. The F-35 Charlie is the only long-range stealth strike fighter designed to operate from aircraft carriers. How could it be recovered? And so there's a few interesting takes on here from Daily Mail. They essentially outline an operation where they could essentially recover this thing or locate it with UUVs, underwater unmanned vehicles, and then use inflatables, depending on the debris or depending on whether or not it's broken apart, actually inflate them. Because the South China Sea, it's not, we're not talking about the depths of the Marianas Trench or something. Where this is actually fairly shallow waters. And so you could use inflatables to bring the thing up once they found it and potentially send subs down as well to work on this. And so we actually have video that was leaked of the actual mishap itself. Take a look. Now, of course, the U.S. Navy wants to recover this F-35 before it can fall into the hands of the People's Liberation Army Navy. If the CCP is able to get their hands on it, then they will be, of course, first, number one, back channel or back engineer any of the technology that's on this thing. They are going to be able to then use that to break any of the codes, the signals, the technology, the information that's found on this thing. They will be able to use that, number one, not only to scramble any of the communications equipment that's used on these things, as well as the electronic sensors, the radars, anything else they can use. Plus, that will give them availability to be able to further, right, mess with, hamper, and hinder any U.S. communications throughout 7th Fleet, should there be any kind of naval engagement on the Taiwan Strait or, at writ large in the South China Sea. Last year, similar thing happened, by the way, in the Mediterranean, when the UK had to appeal to the US for help in finding an F-35 Bravo Lightning II that had toppled from the HMS Queen Elizabeth into the Mediterranean during a failed launch. At the time, they were worried about Russia trying to salvage the jet and copy the technology. It was reportedly retrieved last month during a secret operation in the Mediterranean. Now, one story that a lot of people may not know about, if you're familiar with Cold War operations, is Project Azorian. What was Project Azorian? One of the most expensive and certainly most secretive intelligence operations of the entire Cold War. This was back in the 1970s, 1974, I believe is when it took place. A Soviet submarine, the K-129, had sunk in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, 16,000 feet deep. It sunk in 1968. Well, a couple of years later in the 1970s, President Nixon authorized a CIA clandestine operation to build a massive salvage ship to locate, and the US Navy actually had located the resting place of the Soviet sub, and then we went out to recover it. Guess what the cover story was? They got Howard Hughes, of all people, to go in to finance this ship, or at least claim he was financing this ship, and say that it was just drilling operations that were being conducted in the middle of the Pacific. And essentially, the way they planned to do this was now the Navy wanted to send deep sea submersibles down and then raise it that way, because this submarine we had uncovered was essentially intact and had multiple nuclear warheads on it, Soviet nuclear warheads. So imagine in the 1970s being able to get a couple of hot ones up from the Soviets from the bottom of the Pacific. The Soviets, by the way, knew this was going on, but they dismissed it because they thought it wasn't possible. CIA, on the other hand, instead of using deep sea submersibles, what did they want to do? They actually said, let's get a giant freighter. And then, you know, the claw game when you go to like an arcade or a fair or something, they essentially wanted to build, and they did do this, a giant claw to come down from the surface, 16,000 feet deep, grab onto the submarine, and then crank it all the way back up. Now, that was the plan that was eventually approved by President Nixon. This thing went down. There's all sorts of documentaries on this. A lot of this has been declassified by now. But because they used that claw and because they didn't have the submersibles that the Navy wanted to use, the submarine actually broke. And about 2/3 of the sub later crashed, broke off, and then crashed back down to the surface of the sea. But 1/3 was eventually recovered, as well as several bodies of Russian sailors. And so they were able to give them a burial at sea in metal coffins because they're worried about radiation. And then they were able to recover those nuclear warheads. Understand your history. This is the type of things that are going on behind the scenes constantly. Got a major winter storm set to slam parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast on Saturday. Serious snowfall, strong to damaging winds, blizzard conditions, coastal flooding. We're talking about coastal flooding all up and down the Northeast and mid-Atlantic, the I-95 corridor. Blizzard conditions, bomb cyclone. That's why you need to go to mypillow.com, promo code POSO. In fact, if you actually go, we've got the landing page up, mypillow.com/POSO. You can go there right now, support the show, support Patriots, support yourself, by the way. Snuggle up, because these major winter storms, they're actually saying possible blizzard conditions coming up. Get ready. Get your bedding, get your blankets, get the Snuggies, get the slippers, get the robes. You are not going to regret it. And by the way, the towels are up 60% off if you go to the towels right now. Special sale on the towels. So go stock up right now. This winter is going to be a very serious winter. mypillow.com/POSO. Now turning over to Ukraine, because of course the mainstream media tells us we have to talk about Ukraine now all of a sudden, because Ukraine is suddenly the most important thing in the world, even though, according to Rasmussen, only 31% of America thinks that we should actually be sending U.S. troops into harm's way, the sons and daughters of American families into harm's way to defend Ukraine. Interestingly enough, Jonathan Feiner, who's someone that we've been talking about here at Human Events Daily since at least last year, since he came into the White House, the Deputy National Security Advisor, goes on CNN, and listen to what Jonathan Feiner has to say when he's asked about why we need to defend Ukraine's borders.
It goes to a very fundamental principle of all nations, which is that our borders should be inviolate, that our sovereignty should be respected.
So hold on now. Wait a minute. Borders are inviolate, and we must uphold the sovereignty of borders. That's what you just said, Jonathan Feiner. From the Biden White House, from the Biden administration, that borders are inviolate. You can't make this stuff up. You really, and here's the thing, they don't get it. These are the people who watch House of Cards and they say, oh, well, look, if Frank Underwood was against Putin, then I have to be about Putin. That's literally where they get their understanding of Russia from, is from TV shows like House of Cards, right? They don't have any actual understanding of what's going on in Ukraine. They don't understand the background. They don't understand the history. They don't understand why there would be a border dispute. They don't understand the linguistic differences, the fact that a lot of these villages have people in them that say, you know what? I do want to be part of Russia. I do want to be united with Russia because they speak Russian. Then you've got also people in these towns that say, no, we want to be part of Ukraine, right? This is a disputed region. It ain't that clear. But you know, if you actually look at what's going on in Ukraine, you say, okay, we're going to care about Ukraine all of a sudden. So I go over, and what do? I'm reading Ukrainian media because I want to see what's going on. There were mass protests yesterday in Kiev, right outside the Rada, that's the Ukrainian parliament. Huge clashes with police over these things. And at first I said, wait a minute, why is there no coverage of this anywhere in English language media? Where are all the reporters that supposedly CNN and the BBC and all these places have? They know so much about Ukraine, they care so much about Ukraine, and yet they're not talking about this. They're not talking about the massive protests that were held in the Rada, right? And you can see it, and if you go to ukraineinform.ua, clashes near the Rada, police used tear gas against private individuals. What's this group? They're called Save FOP. Well, FOP, that's small business owners in Ukraine. Originally, this group was founded, what was it an anti-Russia thing? Was it a pro-NATO thing? Was it no. It was anti-lockdown protesters. Now they're protesting about a new tax law, these financial reforms that are being passed. And you're not seeing anything of this. Smoke grenades, orange and white fireworks were lit. As Ukraine Inform reported on January 5th, an action of the Save FOP movement called Power, Accept or Go Away, beginning near the Ukrainian parliament building, the participants of which are protesting against total fiscalization, this new financial reform that's being passed, a new law that's about to take effect. I mean, this is what is actually driving protests in Kiev, in Maidan Square, right outside the Rada. But you're not going to hear that on CNN. You're not going to hear that from the White House. You're not going to hear that from Secretary of State Tony Blinken, who, by the way, isn't qualified to be running the front desk as a clerk at the State Department, let alone sitting in the seat of Thomas Jefferson. These people are idiots. Period. Full stop. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Read Technofog, read Technofog, read Technofog. I don't think that I've promoted any Substack as much as I've promoted his. You need to subscribe to Technofog and read every single one of his dispatches, because these are the actual substantive updates on the Durham investigation. Look, I know there's a lot of people out there who want to say Durham is coming, indictments are coming, right? And we know that people have been indicted. We now know there's a grand jury that's impaneled and people have given testimony. Technofog, though, is actually going through and telling you what he's separating the wheat from the chaff on this stuff. He actually goes in and explains what is really happening, how this investigation is going on, and tells you the truth rather than just hype constantly about Durham. I don't like to do that. I do not like to give people false hope. I am not a copium dealer, right? There's a lot of copium dealers out there, which creates copium addicts. No copium around here. This is Human Events Daily. We do not deal in copium. We deal in cold, hard facts and also hot takes, spicy takes, the hottest takes you will find this side of the Mississippi. But listen now, because here's the headline out of Technofog. In the Durham investigation, DNC lawyer Mark Elias has given grand jury testimony. Mark Elias, you guys know him, right? He's the one that got all those rule changes in the election of 2020 because of COVID, universal mail-in ballots, all this stuff. That was on the heels of Mark Elias. And Mark Elias is also known for something else. Dear listener, he is known for being the key lawyer, the point man, for the Russiagate operation in 2016, that dirty dossier of Christopher Steele. No one man was more instrumental than putting all of those pieces together than Mark Elias. And here is Senator Johnson talking about it.
Director Wray, have you read the Michael Sussman indictment?
I've had a chance to glance at it, but I haven't had time yet to read through it.
I would suggest to you and everybody else read that, because it really does lay out exactly what happened to create this political turmoil for 2 or 3, 4 years, really during the Trump administration. It lays out how the Hillary Clinton campaign paid for, through Michael Sussman, completely false allegations that Trump was cooperating with Alpha Bank, planted that story, had an audience with James Baker, FBI, so that the FBI would open up investigation so that they could report that news. Same exact dynamic in terms of the false steal dossier that also was contained.
So remember, Sussman is the person that they did indict. He was the partner of Elias at Perkins Coie. This was the law firm that was retained by the DNC for the dossier operation. But Durham and his team have secured grand jury testimony from Mark Elias, former FBI General Counsel James Baker, current CIA employees, that's interesting, as well as more than 24 current and former FBI employees, current and former employees of DARPA, 12 employees of quote-unquote internet companies referenced in the Sussman indictment, and the list goes on and on and on. He, by the way, has also obtained records from what? The 2016 Hillary Clinton campaign, Perkins Coie, Hillary for America, Fusion GPS, a PR firm that advised them, as well as a classified memorandum and reports of reviews pertaining to a criminal investigation previously conducted by the DOJ. Consider the possibility, and this is Technofog's analysis, that the evidence of Russian hacking was placed by the DNC, Perkins Coie et al. For CrowdStrike to conveniently find. These are the same people involved in the DNC hacking scenario. This is an absolute bombshell. And that is it. Another action-packed half hour of Human Events Daily. This is your daily briefing, your daily dose of human events. Remember, our motto to you, be good, be brief, be gone. We're delivering you the entire world, stories that nobody else is covering in faster time with hotter and spicier analysis than anybody is doing out there. But before we go, remember, you have your homework for us as well. That is to share this out with one of your normie friends. Just pick one of your normie friends, blast it at them wherever you go, by the way, and listen to your podcast, whether you're on Rumble, whether you're on Getter, etc. Go and leave us one of your 5-star reviews. And as always, it's time, once again, for History Break. January 26, 1998, President Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Remember, folks, never trust a Clinton. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have my permission to lay ashore.
You have to ask the question, how is the most heavily funded tribe have the poorest population?
Listen to me. My country's very because everything problem here. Don't have petroleum for bus and Cuban, for car, for life, for nothing.
And it sucks. Socialism sucks. There's no other way you can describe it.
This is your brain. This is your brain on socialism. Any questions?
That's all the time we have here from regime-occupied Washington, D.C., the Capital District, turning it over now to the free state of Arizona. as Turning Point Live continues on the couch. Take it away, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TPUSA HQ. I'm your host, John Root, and this is a special game show edition of TPUSA Live. Here's how it's going to go down. We'll start things off by introducing and giving some background on our superstar contestants, including producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Clegg, along with TPUSA contributors Jordan Rachel and Kendall Jones. We'll follow that with our first game of the evening, Real Deal or Fake News, breaking down whether headlines that provide them are authentic or a hoax. You definitely don't want to miss Law or Nah, where our contestants are going to decide if what I'm telling them is actually written law in our great nation or nah. We'll wrap things up with TPUSA trivia, questions ranging from TPUSA history to American history, 1-minute monologue, and a classic game of how many beans are in the jar. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fasten your seatbelts. It's about to be a wild ride. TPUSA Live Game Show Edition starts now.
Authentic, unfiltered, grassroots content and conversation every weekday. Live from Phoenix, Arizona at the Turning Point USA headquarters, this is TPUSA Live.
All right, it's about that time to meet our contestants for the special edition of TPUSA Live. Jordan Rachel, let's start with you. Welcome to the show. You're one of our many incredible TPUSA contributors. You're an actress living in LA. You're also a real estate agent. How do you find time to just throw out so many fire tweets?
So, politics definitely takes up the majority of my time. Not just because it's my job, but because I think it's so important right now to stay politically aware 100% of the time, especially with what's going on in our country right now. So no matter what I'm doing, I get notifications on my phone, and I just quickly pull over and fire off a tweet.
Well, I'm glad you're pulling over. You're not tweeting while you're driving. Yeah. We did not tell anybody to tweet and drive. But you provide a lot of great content on the live feed as well, and you've been to a multitude of events. Has there been a favorite moment being a contributor so far?
I think just seeing all of us come together with each of our different brands. We're all so different and we do different things for the movement, but seeing everyone come together and have create like such a big impact in the movement for different people has been really cool. You haven't been able to escape California yet, unfortunately. I escaped, but how's life in the Golden State treating you? So it's okay. It's going downhill very quickly, but for me, I really spend a lot of time with my family and work, and so that helps the mental state. But yeah, hopefully I'll get out of the state soon. Beautiful. Well, good luck during the game show here. Let's go to Kendall Jones. You're obviously a big 2A advocate. You're obviously a TPUSA contributor, and you've been on some of the wildest big game hunting trips I've ever seen. Is there one big game hunting trip that's the most memorable?
So yeah, I have had a lot of memories in the outdoors and a lot of incredible trips, but my favorite that always comes to mind is the last hunt I went on with my dad, which was a whitetail hunt, and it was 2 weeks before he passed away. And so that was actually the last time I saw him in person. So that's always the one that's going to stick in my mind the most. Well, you're obviously a Texas Tech cheerleader, and that you had some cancel culture fun. Former Texas Tech cheerleader. This girl don't flip no more. No, you're not getting the twisties, we heard. I am not getting the twisties. Not at all. But you've been able to kind of freely express your views now after cancel culture, found its way to you. But because of cancel culture, you joined TPUSA. So how do you feel being a contributor, be able to freely express your views? Yeah, so I say I created a career out of haters. So they gave me a career and a voice for the outdoors and for the gun community. And I've really built a family here with Turning Point USA. I've met some incredible people and people that I know are going to be lifelong friends, and it's just great for me to be able to talk to them. We all come from different backgrounds, and I get to tell my side of the story to them and really educate them on what it is I actually do, because you see the headlines, but we all know how the media can act. So just being together as a family and being able to be truly me is one of my favorite things. And it's great to see how much you care about conservation and gun rights. There's obviously so much gun control stuff going on. Yes. But to see that stuff on the live feed too, people love it, and we're excited to see how you're going to do in this game show. How do you feel about your odds? Oh, I'm a very competitive person, so y'all are going down.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see
bring
what
it.
happens. Kendall
Except I
Jones.
don't know that much history, so.
We know.
Well, TPUSA Trivia, it's definitely not going to be your game then, I guess. But finally, with about a minute left, producer Connor, producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, you're a proud native Texan.
I am. Just
How
like
did
Kendall.
you become
Yeah.
so dang patriotic?
Well, I tell you what, my dad taught history, taught Texas history and American history, right? So he brought me up on all these incredible stories of our founders, right? And they're really cool if you dive into them. They're like real life, modern day, past, I guess, superheroes, you know? So it just got this love of country instilled in me from a really young age. And we've carried that on into our work at the Charlie Kirk Show. That's what it's all about, is protecting the country and preserving it and conserving it. So that's what we're here to do, and I'm really excited to be here and beat both of these lovely women and the TPUSA game show.
It's a lot of chat you got going on over there.
And then also, you've been a part of the Charlie Kirk team for about 2 years, been a producer over there. Is there a moment that just resonates with you the most memorable moment?
Yeah, you know, I think it had to be meeting the incredible Sarah Palin. I mean, what a woman. Ooh. That's just an absolute woman. And she is, the media made her out to be just a total dunce and someone who was really stupid. And she's not. She's so smart and she's so kind. Down to earth. Yeah. So that was really cool. That was
like her because she's a hunter as well.
She is a hunter, man. She scares the heck out of me with a gun. She invited Charlie to go hog hunting from a helicopter in Alaska. Oh. So I didn't even know they had hogs up there. But anyway, maybe that's going to happen soon. That would be some good live content.
Oh, that would be some good stuff. I wouldn't mind joining in on that trip.
Live on set from Wasilla.
I'll just report live behind a bush or something like that. But Jordan Rachel, Kendall Jones, producer Connor Clegg from the Charlie Kirk Show. It's going to be a heck of a time. Jordan, you seem a little nervous.
No, I'm excited. I'm going to take you down.
No,
sure.
Jordan, what a chatter we got going on over there.
Hey, we're already playing games now, but after the break, we're going to play our first game, Real Deal or Fake News. We'll see you after the break.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? My name is Osiga Kaku. I'm from the great state of North Carolina, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Preston Para, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Clare from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Richardson. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and you'll see me at freedomsquare.com. I'm Soraya. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Michelle DeGroot from Los Angeles, California, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, my name is Emma Faye Redcan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Join us in the fight for freedom. Welcome to Freedom Square.
Welcome back to TPUSA Live Game Show Edition. We got our first game right here, right now. This is Real Deal or Fake News. In this segment, I'm going to read off a headline, and you have to decide whether that's authentic or nah, that's not the real deal. We're going to start. You nervous? You ready to go?
I said that ain't it.
Oh, that ain't it. Let's start with our first headline. We're going to throw that up. That first headline is, Alexa helpfully interrupts couple's argument to provide recordings of their previous conversations. Is that real deal or fake news? Kendall Jones, we're going to start with you.
I think that's fake news. That's really creepy if it's true, but fake news.
There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with big tech, so you sure?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely don't doubt it, but my answer is going to be fake news.
Okay.
I don't think. hope it's not true.
Producer Connor?
It's terrifying. I do think it might be helpful, though, so maybe Jeff Bezos can look into that instead of going to space. But I think it's fake news. Probably like Babylon Bee thing, huh?
I don't know. We'll see.
I
Now
think-
it's up to you. You get to follow the crowd?
I think Alexa's always listening, and that's why I am never buying that. So I have no idea.
Well, you have to pick.
You gotta say real deal.
You say yes or no.
I mean, it's really bad if it's real. So.
Well, you got to decide.
Okay.
There's not an I don't know.
It's
not-
real.
You're going to say real?
Yeah.
All right. Let's show off that headline, see whether it's real or not. It is fake news. That is from the Babylon Bee. Good call, producer Connor.
Nailed it.
So Kendall and Connor got points there. I feel good about this next one for you, Jordan Rachel. Here we go. And remember, it's real deal or fake news, not I don't know.
Okay.
The headline reads,
Not option C.
Shark bites man's butt 1 week after a drunk man was killed by a shark while peeing on the same beach. That is incredibly descriptive.
Yeah.
Real deal or fake news? Kendall, we're going to start with you again.
Gosh, I'm always leader. I kind of think that's a real deal. Like, I can kind of see that being true. I've read some crazy wild nature stories, so
And
real
you've written
deal.
a lot, too,
I've
for the
written
live
a lot,
feed.
too, especially on the live feed. So real deal, final answer.
All right.
You ever hunt sharks?
No, you can fish them.
I guess you'd fish sharks,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
You can fish for them, but
Yeah. That would be
maybe
fun.
spear them?
No.
I don't even know if that's legal. So.
I think you'd fly off the boat if you fished a shark, right?
Well, people got to catch them somehow.
If
Sorry.
Jordan was going, she would.
Before we go off the rails.
Bit of a tangent there. I think that's a real deal. I think it's a real deal, and I'm not gonna, if that's what you're into, shark, go for it. So.
All right.
Texan
So
following
shark bites
Texan's
man's
answers.
butt 1 week after a drunk man was killed by a shark. Jordan Rachel, are you going to follow the crowd or are you going to say,
I
don't
think
know?
it's true because it's just way too descriptive to not be true.
All right, so we're all going
Sound logic.
We're all going real deal?
Real deal.
Let's check it out. Is that the real deal? Actually, that is the real deal. That's from the Daily Caller. That is a real news story. Incredible. I
is
feel
that the
bad for
shark?
that man's tushy.
Bad luck.
But,
Not the best day for
but
that
Jordan
guy.
has got a point. Next up, this next headline reads, Church combats COVID by adding essential oils to the fog machine. We're going to change things up and start with Jordan Rachel.
Ooh.
Is that real deal or fake news?
That's fake news because I saw it somewhere.
Wow.
Are you leaking things to her
She's
before
all,
the show?
She's all over the place.
I told you I keep up with the news, people.
Yeah, you should see her behind the scenes, just Twitter. Connor, you going to follow Jordan Rachel on that one, or is real deal or fake news?
I think that I would believe it, but I don't think it's real.
Okay, fake news.
So essential oils and
So church combats COVID by adding essential oils to the fog machine.
fake news. That's dumb.
Churches
It is.
shouldn't have fog machines. to begin
It
with,
seems
so.
pretty silly. I don't know if they'd add frankincense or myrrh. And it's
Yeah.
a little bit
Lavender,
more.
peppermint.
Let's check it out. Let's see if that headline is real or fake news. So Babylon Bee strikes again. That is fake news. So good work. Everybody's got points there.
Point.
All right.
Jordan Rachel, great work. Leading the charge there. All right. We're going to throw up the next headline. Feds ask, should Netflix air emergency alerts? Feds ask, should Netflix air emergency alerts? It's already a lot to deal with on our phones, so it's not out of the question. Real deal or fake news? Jordan, Rachel, we're going to start with you.
It's fake news. Because it's a government alert, so that can't go through Netflix.
Big tech.
Smart.
Very interesting. Connor Clegg. That's a very convincing argument.
That's really, really smart. I'm going to say fake news just because the headline begins with Feds ask, and they haven't asked to do anything in a long time. They just kind of been doing it. So I'm going to go with fake news. Okay.
Gosh, see, after y'all's two explanations, I want to go with fake news, but I'm going to go with real deal.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
getting
going
away
to
from the
switch it up a
crowd.
little bit because they ask. They haven't implemented it yet. I'm not saying I want that by any sort of means, but I'm going to say, like, they've probably definitely considered it. So I'll go real deal on this one. I'll change it up.
All right, convincing arguments. Let's check and see that headline. Is that real deal or fake news? That is actually a real story.
Woo!
That is from the Hollywood Reporter, and Feds actually did ask.
Good for them.
Very good for them. So right
Glad
now
they're
we got
learning.
Kendall taking the lead,
Thank you.
and then we got this one right here. Next headline reads, ESPN analyst claims Patriots QB having the nickname Mac and Cheese is body shaming. We've seen a lot of talk about bodies. The Sports Illustrated.
Tom Brady's nickname is Mac and Cheese. Oh wait, he's not the quarterback there anymore. Dang it!
Kendall Jones, you know I'm the sports guy.
I know.
I
messed up. Okay.
He just won a Super Bowl at Tampa.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut me out. I'm done.
So he's not coming back. So we do know for sure. I will give you that hint. This is not Tom Brady we're talking about.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine Giselle being with a guy whose nickname is Mac and Cheese.
Why not? Mac and cheese is delicious.
So I think we're actually gonna. Oh, it is very delicious, but I can't imagine having that nickname and being like, man, that guy looks good.
Right.
Throw him on the cover of a magazine. Sports Illustrated, how are you?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Mac
start.
and cheese.
We're gonna start with you. So once again.
Crap, I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
ESPN analyst claims Patriots QB, not Tom Brady, having the nickname Mac and Cheese is body shaming. Is that real deal or fake news?
I'm gonna go with real deal. I'll say I kind of think that might be a headline. It's dumb, but I think that maybe in today's world that we're in, that could be a topic that ESPN analysts talk about.
All right, you're going real. We're going to switch it up. Jordan, we're going to you next. Real deal or fake news?
Wait, did you say they already named him that?
So once again, ESPN analyst claims Patriots QB having the nickname Mac and Cheese, which is his current nickname, is body shaming.
So
real deal or fake news?
That's definitely real because these people are crazy. End.
That's a convincing argument. People are crazy, so it's gotta be real.
No, it just sounds like something that would be happening right now.
Okay, real. Are you going to say real as well, or are you?
Well, I think they're wrong, ESPN, but I do think it's real. Those people are a bunch of apparatchiks, so I'd buy it.
Big word.
All right, that's a very big word.
Big word for a Texan, right?
Yeah.
Very close to giving you an extra point for those big words, but let's throw it up there, see if everybody is wrong or they're right. So actually, that is from the Daily Caller. ESPN did claim that is body shaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good
I'm
work.
not
Everybody
surprised.
got that right.
I didn't even.
all right.
I did
Thank
not
you.
flinch, you guys.
Good for you.
So that is our very first game. So we're going to check out the leaderboard. So in last place.
What were you saying earlier?
So rude, John.
What were you saying?
And you just did a long pause too.
Last
looked at
and
me.
least, Jordan Rachel with 2 points. I know. And then in second place, we got producer Connor with 3. And in the lead, after our very first game, we have Kendall Jones with 4. So yeah, it's a very Texas competition we got
Texas
going
Tuesday
on
here.
You could find your way in there, California. It's all good. Actually, we got a
We'll see.
Texas couch.
Yeah.
And
And y'all are
Cali
Cali couch,
Well,
okay.
I'm an Arizonan now, so I feel like I'll look like a Cali boy, but my
Sound
ID
like
now
one.
says
Yeah, yeah.
Arizonan.
Your roots are still Cali. Our roots
That's
are
a nice
always
little.
Texas.
That's a nice little pun there too.
I know.
The
My
roots.
roots
The
are
roots are still in
Washington
Cali.
Yeah.
But real quick too, 15 seconds. How are you feeling going into round 2 with the lead?
What's the second game again?
We got law or nah.
Oh crap. I feel like I have a lead right now, so I'm gonna go in confident. Always have confidence.
No, you don't feel. You know you have a lead.
I know I have a lead, so I have confidence. I'm gonna come in hot, guns a-blazing.
Wow, what a
Guns up.
locker room
Guns
talk we had
up.
right there. But just like I told Kendall, the next game is law or nah. I can't wait for that. We'll see if Jordan Rachel can find her way back into the game. This has been an incredible start so far. Good luck, and very best of luck.
Yeah, you're
We'll
gonna
see you
need
after
it.
the break.
everybody, how are you doing? My name is Osiga Kaku. I'm from the great state of North Carolina, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Preston Para, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Clare from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Richardson. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and you'll see me at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Soraya. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Michelle DeGroot from Los Angeles, California, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, my name is Emma Faye Redcan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Join us in the fight for freedom. Welcome to Freedom Square.
Welcome back to TPUSA Live Game Show Edition. We'll give you an update on the score once again. In case you forgot, Jordan's in last. Connor's in second, and Kendall's in first with 4 points. We're going to play Law or Nah. So there are some outrageous laws in our country. It is, a lot of them are crazy.
Connor wants no laws.
Anarchy.
But I'm going to give you a law, and you're going to have to tell me whether that's written law in the United States or nah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay,
I've actually read some crazy laws that are real before, so maybe I am a little more confident in this. Maybe I've seen them as I'm creeping, you know?
All right, easy there, first place.
All
right,
creeping.
let's start with this one. Very first one, law or nah. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub. Jordan, why don't we just start with you? Is that a law or nah?
Illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathroom.
Bathtub.
Yeah, but sleeping on the toilet is fine.
Law?
Gonna go with law. You
Yeah.
sound really confident in that one. Thank you.
I don't even know how to explain myself. Just
I'm just
I
going
don't
law.
know, maybe.
Producer Connor?
I'm going to follow Jordan's lead because her argument was so convincing. I'm going to say law. I'll say law.
You gonna follow the crowd?
Okay, no, I'll switch it up. I'm gonna go, wait, no law?
It's law or nah?
No.
I'm gonna go with
Rhyme.
nah. Just because
Nah, y'all.
the fact that if it is a law means that this had to have happened at one point in time to make this a law. So if this has happened before, very concerning.
What's wrong
So
with the donkey sleeping in the bathtub?
I'm gonna go with nah. And actually, this law was written because of Connor. So.
Donkeys work hard, man. They got to take a nap
Breaking
somewhere.
news. Let's find out if that is a law or nah. It's actually a law. It's actually a law.
Connor, you have some explaining to do.
I was sleepy, okay, and the bathtub was nice.
So
And the
actually,
donkey
listen-
just came in.
Listen to this. In the 1920s, a local dam broke, flooding a rancher's home. The rancher's donkey had become accustomed to sleeping in the bathtub, which filled with water and whisked him miles away. After working to rescue the animal, the town passed a law that prohibits donkeys from sleeping in the bathtub, though it's okay for them to stand in one.
Thank God.
Incredible.
God.
Kendall, you did not get a point.
Yeah,
Jordan,
dang.
you're making your way back. All right, next one, law or nah.
I have questions about that first one. We'll save them for later.
This next one. In Colorado, it's illegal to keep a couch on your porch. Kendall, we're going to start with you. In Colorado, it's illegal to keep a couch on your porch. Law or nah?
I've been to Colorado a couple times. I'm gonna go. No, and I'm trying to picture couches on their porch. Okay. I'm gonna go with probably not a law. No, I'm gonna go with no again. I'm gonna try and get up. Just because I feel like people in Colorado probably get a little lazy sometimes and pass out on their couch on the porch.
All right, quickly, law or nah?
Law, definitely law.
Gonna go law?
Nah.
Nah. All right, it's actually a law.
Gosh!
So Connor Clegg's got a point right there. So the University of Colorado was busted for burning couches, causing a law to go into effect that keeps couches off of all porches. Thanks, college kids.
Big go suck.
Next up, law or nah? In Michigan, it is illegal to drink out of straws after 10 p.m. in public. Law or nah? Jordan, Rachel.
Nah.
I love your answers. They're just so unconvincing. Nah. Law or
so
nah?
many thoughts.
Producer Connor. Do your best Jordan Rachel impersonation.
Law.
You're gonna go law. Kendall Jones.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with nah again because one of these has to be nah at some point. So nah.
So it's actually not a law. That's
Thank
not a law
the
at all. So
Lord.
Connor does not get a point. Jordan and Kendall get points there. Next up,
I'm catching up,
Law
guys.
or nah? In Connecticut, a pickle must be able to bounce. What?
What?
Law or nah? Kendall Jones.
No, we're starting with Connor this time.
Oh, we're starting with Connor.
Connor hasn't gone first.
It's true. So bounce on the ground like a basketball, or
Bounce on the ground like a basketball. Law or
find
not?
gainful employment as someone who stands outside of a nightclub and tells people who can come in or not.
No, they are not applying to be
They're not
bouncers.
bouncers. Oh.
They're not security.
Got it. Law. I'm
Gonna
gonna
go law.
Yeah.
Law or nah?
I'll go law because I haven't yet,
Oh.
and it's a weird one.
No.
Nah. So it's actually a law. So Kendall and Connor get points. In 1948, 2 men were arrested for selling pickles that were unfit for human consumption. Officials declared that a pickle is only legitimate if it bounces. Incredible.
I'm
So
gonna try that. Like, bounce my pickle.
next
before
commercial
I
break,
eat
we
it.
are bouncing pickles.
We get some pickles
But
produced
we got a
locally.
few. We got a few more before we head to our next game. Law or nah? In Walla Walla, Washington, you must wear red on the 3rd Friday of every month. Connor, let's start with you again. In Walla Walla, Washington, you must wear red on the 3rd Friday of every month.
I'm not even sure that's a real place, so I'm gonna say no.
Nah? Law or nah?
Like, do they like put the actually govern these laws? Do they get a ticket if they don't wear red?
Sounds like it. I mean, if it's a law,
I'm
you're
gonna
breaking
go,
the law.
I'm gonna go nah.
Going nah?
No.
Going nah?
Nah's across the board.
Nah's across the board, so it is a nah. Walla Walla may be a strange name, but that's not a law in that state. Last one for you, real quick. Law or nah? In Maryland, sleeveless shirts are banned in public parks.
Good for Maryland.
Jordan, Rachel, law or nah? Sleeveless shirts are banned in public parks.
No.
Going with nah?
I'm gonna go with law.
Going with law?
Y'all law.
I'm gonna go with nah.
Nah? So 2 nahs and a law?
Does it get hot in
It
Maryland?
is actually a law. So
What?
Connor's got a point, and actually Connor, with that correct answer, just took the lead.
Let's go. Law and order, baby.
But in Baltimore, it's technically considered a park rule violation to be in a public park with a sleeveless shirt. No suns out, guns out for Connor Clegg or anybody else. But congratulations, you've now taken the lead. And Kendall Jones, you are 1 point behind. And
get
Jordan
there.
Rachel, you are still in the caboose. But
You're
don't
still
go.
bringing up the rear.
Make sure you don't go anywhere. TPUSA Trivia is coming up next. We'll see you right after the break.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Osiga Kaku. I'm from the great state of North Carolina, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Preston Para, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Clare from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Richardson. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and you'll see me at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Soraya. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Michelle DeGroot from Los Angeles, California, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, my name is Emma Faye Redcan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Join us in the fight for freedom. Welcome to Freedom Square.
Welcome back to TPUSA Live Game Show Edition. Let's take a look at the leaderboard before we head into TPUSA Trivia. Connor is in the lead. Producer Connor, right there, smack dab in the middle, the best part of the Oreo cookie. So he's got 8 points, and then that's followed by Kendall with 7 points. Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
Hey there.
Hey.
Got 5 points in last place. But TPUSA trivia, these are questions ranging from TPUSA history to American history. Jordan, how's your American history knowledge?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, you guys should be worried. Next.
Very, very, very convincing.
Well, I hated history in high school, so I don't know. I might be taking Jordan's place after this one.
Oh boy. All right, we're going
hope.
to start with this very first question. You guys have buzzers here, and you have to wait. I'm not even going to pick on Connor first one. You have to wait till I'm done giving you the question and the options, and then you can buzz in. All right, let's check out question number 1. Question number 1, how old is Charlie Kirk? A, 27, B, 26, C, 30, or D, 29?
I was first.
I was first.
Honestly,
how can you
Producer
tell?
Connor was first.
No, you were not.
Absolutely. He's 27.
You work with him. That's not even fair. He
Work
is
of the job,
literally
baby.
with them.
It's not
He's
about
cheating.
being fair at all. Let's check and see. It's
about winning.
It's about winning. Amen to that. Let's check and see if Producer Connor's correct. Boom! Look at that. There's a point for
Stupid.
Producer Connor. Yeah, that was definitely in
Hate to
his
lose.
wheelhouse. But
Dumb.
Kendall Jones clearly upset. Question number 2.
Can you see it?
Oh, I can see it. Oh, I
Okay,
can see it.
just making
Thank
sure.
you. Question number 2. Who has the largest signature on the Declaration of Independence? A, Thomas Jefferson, B, John Hancock, C, John Adams, or D, Samuel Adams? Actually, Jordan Rachel
I
got
didn't
that
even
one.
buzz.
John Hancock.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Let's check and see if Jordan Rachel's correct. Would you look at that, John Hancock? Kendall Jones,
Okay,
you
I'll
didn't
give it
even
to you.
buzz in.
Slipping, man.
I don't know the answer. I was
Slip and
gonna
fall,
say-
baby.
I was
Oh,
going to say TJ, but good old TJ, but whatever.
Let's go ahead and check out that next question. What year was Turning Point USA founded? A, 2013, B, 2010, C, 2012, or D, 2015? I think that was Jordan Rachel again.
Is my buzzer broke?
No, it's I
not
just think
broken.
You got a quick draw on your YouTube channel, but not here on the couch. Jordan Rachel, what is your answer?
2012.
2012. Are you sure?
Yes.
That would be really embarrassing if you got the wrong answer.
You might get fired.
I think it's
frankly.
2012.
Now she
Sure it's
thinks.
not
It's
2013?
2012,
All
John!
right. She's going with 2012. Let's check and see if Jordan's right. It is 2012. Look at that. Jordan Rachel finding
Jordan Rachel running away
Well,
with it,
because
honestly.
we have someone over here that won't call on me.
That's not up to me,
That's
Kendall.
not
You
the
got to
reason
buzz
you're
in
losing,
faster. I feel good about this next
I
one.
need
Okay.
official buzzards, not the. I said buzzards.
We're not going buzzard hunting, all right? We just need you to buzz in on that. Next question. Here we go. Kendall, I just can't have you look at me that way. Now I'm nervous reading this question. Who was the 40th president of the United States?
I almost just pressed it, but whatever.
A, Ronald Reagan, B, George H.W. Bush, C, Bill Clinton, or D, Jimmy Carter?
That was me. Thank you.
was me, actually.
That was actually Kendall Jones.
No, I pressed it whenever you were saying and Carter.
That was
But
a bunch of malarkey.
I'm gonna go with A, Ronald Reagan.
A, Ronald Reagan.
Be really embarrassing if the first time you buzz in and you get
I
it
get
wrong.
it wrong.
Yikes, that
It's
would
fine.
be tough. All right, but she's going A, final answer, Ronald Reagan. Let's see if she's right. Would you look at that, Kendall Jones finding her way. All right, so this is a really tight matchup.
Whatever.
I love this.
I don't.
I'm having a great time. This is incredible. Let's
I
check out the
hate it
next
here.
question.
This is really fun.
Well, I'm glad you guys are having a good time. Here's the next question. How many stripes are on the American flag? Is that A, 12, B, 13, C, 10, or D, 14?
Come on, that was me, John.
That was me all day
Come
long,
on, it was
John.
not Kendall. It was
Remember
not.
his
I
second
didn't really-
advocate over here.
I'm going to be completely honest. This is a very tough job, and I think Kendall Jones got it first.
Thank you. 13.
13. Are
Yes.
you sure?
No, but I'm pretty positive.
Yikes. I should have asked Connor.
Yeah,
He would
frankly.
have been sure about that one.
Yes,
All right,
it is.
she's
I
going.
counted.
She's
She's
just
going
counted the
B,
flag,
13.
like before she answered.
No,
Disqualified.
No, I didn't.
The
I
correct
just
answer
counted
is
it.
13.
Thank you.
But here's this bonus.
You have to count the flag.
Because you got this one right. Bonus question. Why are there 13 stripes on the American flag?
First states. The 13 first states. And
it's technically not true.
That is actually not the right answer. So, Connor, since you were second, you get this bonus question.
Colonies.
Oh my gosh, y'all knew what I meant. Like, I
Connor
told
Clegg's
you
got
I'm
a
not
point.
like a history buff, but I got the moral
Words
of it,
matter,
right?
folks.
That's stupid.
Oh, man. Yeah, 13 states. That's...
The first 13 states. 13 colonies. What are they now? States. Thank you.
Hey, it's all good. Man, I love these game shows. We need to have you on more because, man, you are coming out fiery.
I have an explanation for
I'm so
everything.
glad that I am not on that couch because I'm terrified right now.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable.
And I hate it here.
I hate it here.
I hate it
Mom,
here.
I'm scared.
But hey, we're going into our final question
Oh,
here.
no.
And right now we have Connor with 10 points, Kendall with 9 points, and Jordan with 7.
Come on, you guys.
Thank you.
I really thought
Oh,
you
no,
were
it's-
making up ground. I thought you were doing
I
better than
was.
You were.
Somebody forgot to add a
You
point.
thought.
that. It's rigged.
Okay, Miss, counting the stripes right before you answer.
No, I.
You definitely can't say stop the count here because this would be in your favor whatsoever.
No, I answered and then I looked at the flag
Right,
and
okay.
counted, okay?
Right.
I think Jordan Rachel's calling for a full and complete audit of the scoreboard.
Right, I am.
I think we might have to do an audit right after we get through this last question and go through some ads. But Connor, you're in the lead right now. How are you feeling?
Do what?
How are you feeling?
Great, thanks for asking. How are you?
No, I'm actually feeling really good. I get really warm under these lights, and it's just getting
Well, you
really
look great.
heated with Kendall Jones over here. So it's like
With
I
me
might have to go
staring
see
at
the
you.
makeup artist during the break here. But we're going into our final question. Here we go. Connor Clegg's got a 1-point lead.
I sure do.
Here we go. What year did World War II end? Is that A, 1946, B, 1945, C, 1955, or D, 1949? That actually was Jordan Rachel.
1945.
1945, you're going with B.
Yes.
So right now you have 7 points, and you have to find your way back into the game.
Yeah.
So you need this point.
Okay.
I'm
It's
gonna
1945, John.
Let's hear John.
Man, this has been terrifying. I never thought I'd get yelled at this much doing the game show. But we're going to check and see if that's the correct answer. And Jordan Rachel's finding her way into the leaderboard. 1945 is correct. Look at that. Jordan Rachel, congratulations.
You're still in last.
You're still in last.
No,
Yeah, just so
I
we're
think
clear.
that was with the winning point because Kendall goes, what year was it?
Well, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest right now. I just buzzed in, just maybe hoping, and I was going to say the wrong answer anyway, so I would not have got that point. I was just going to guess. Can you phone a friend in this game? No. I didn't even ask. We have no lifeline.
There is absolutely...
Can't ask the audience here at
No,
Turning
it's
Point
up
HQ?
to you, the individual.
I don't like
Take
the-
some personal responsibility.
I don't
Pull
know if I
yourself
like
up
the
by your
rules of
Louboutin
this game.
But once again, we have to go over the leaderboard. Right now, Connor Clegg, producer Connor's got 10 points, Kendall's got 9, and Jordan Rachel has got 8. But we're heading into our, this has
hell
been
of
an
a comeback,
incredible
it really is.
comeback. This has been unreal. Storming back, Jordan Rachel. Coming up next, I am very nervous for you, Jordan.
When
I've
is
been
the
probably
last
nervous this whole time because we're going to play a game called the 1 Minute Monologue.
I cannot wait to see Jordan in this.
I have different options for you. You have no idea. You haven't seen these cards whatsoever, and you're going to have to talk for a straight minute. And I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner. I give the points out.
Wait a second.
Best
Yeah.
of luck.
I don't know if I like that.
I didn't sign up to be killed.
Who made up these rules? Who put you in charge?
That's
Oh,
a good
I'm in charge.
question.
I'm here every day.
Who died
I run this.
Who died and made you king? I don't like it. Can we veto?
There's no veto here. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
This is tough.
You're done.
Honestly,
Bye-bye.
everyone, this might be my last show ever. 'Cause it looks like people are aiming for my job a lot. But once again, Connor's in first, Kendall's in second, Jordan's in third. Coming up next, we have the 1 Minute Monologue. I have some cards that they have not seen before. They have 1 minute to speak about it. And I'm going to give them points depending on how they do. We're going to see you right after the break.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Osiga Kaku. I'm from the great state of North Carolina, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Preston Para, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Clare from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Richardson. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and you'll see me at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Soraya. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Michelle DeGroot from Los Angeles, California, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, my name is Emma Faye Redcan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Join us in the fight for freedom. Welcome to Freedom Square.
Welcome back to TPUSA Live Game Show Edition. Once again, here is the leaderboard. Producer Connor is leading the charge with 10
same.
points.
It hasn't changed.
I know. So
Jordan
sometimes
is still in last.
She is still in last.
True.
But
She's not
sometimes,
wrong.
like, you know the way our memory works now. You know, people have probably been watching this whole time. They're like, what's the score again? And I'm going to give it to them.
I appreciate you
Producer
reminding
Connor
them.
with 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Kendall Jones with 9. You keep pulling some of this stuff, I might take a point off the board.
Come on, John.
Law and
Do
order,
it for the
John.
team, John.
Watch
Remember
out.
what I advocate
And I might
for.
give it to Jordan, Rachel, and then Jordan's got 8. So 1 minute monologue. So I have some cards in my hand, and you are going to decide. You know, Kendall, you're going to go first. Choose one, and then you have 1 minute to talk
Why
about.
me?
Because of your attitude. Read it, and then now show that off. Show that to
Singing lizards.
Singing lizards. You have 1 minute to talk about singing lizards. And I'm either going to give you 3 points, 2 points, or 1 point. 1 minute on the clock. Ready?
No. Okay.
Set.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so it's crazy. Whenever I was like growing up, I had this pet lizard and it went everywhere with me. And then one day it just started singing out of nowhere. Like it just started going off all these tunes. Like one time it sang Redneck Woman, you know?
Oh.
I ain't no
I actually don't.
redneck woman. Yeah, so my lizard started going off about this.
Really?
And I was very confused because one, I didn't even know it could talk, much less sing. And so then I went back to the guy that I got it from and he was like, yeah, it was weird, like in this batch of lizards, like a couple of them could sing. And it was the craziest thing. And then I started doing like more research on it. And there's like these organizations and like these conferences of all these singing lizards. And I know it's the craziest thing, and they have competitions. And one time my lizard got on stage and sang, "Hit me baby one more time." You know Britney Spears?
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
And that actually is it. That's a beautiful story you just told us, but it sounds like I'd love to go to that event the Lizard Action Summit.
The Lizard Action Summit.
No,
Coming to you live.
But actually, that was
From last.
That was very well done. You get 2 points.
Veto, who's in charge? That
2
was
points
so good. That was
for
very
that.
convincing,
It
I
was
feel like.
fantastic. Producer Connor, 1 minute monologue. What do we got here?
We got dancing monkeys.
Dancing monkeys. So you need to talk about dancing monkeys for 1 minute. Ready, set, go.
So I was walking down the street. We were in Houston, actually, and there was this chimpanzee, and the guy, he just started cha-chaing with the first thing he could grab. And I said, wait a second, that's a monkey. And it was actually a monkey, and then it was dancing. But the problem was, he wasn't dancing because he wanted to dance, right? It was more of just like a gyration, kind of just like a twisty sort of situation. And so I walked up to it because it looked like it was in distress, which is much like what I look like when I'm dancing too. So I kind of recognized it, real recognizes real. And I walked up to him, I said, "Hey monkey, are you okay?" And unlike the lizards that Kendall has, he couldn't talk or sing, maybe he can, but no, I mean, he just didn't seem like he was okay. And turns out that he was some sort of a show monkey, right? So he was wearing like a diaper. His diaper just needed to be changed. The monkey went to the bathroom on himself,
Oh.
And it was trying to wiggle out of the
And
diaper.
luckily, we are done.
Thank God.
That is it. It sounded like you had a little bit of. You kind of do look like a monkey with the wire right now.
Thank
here
you.
Too.
Oh, geez,
a little
thanks.
dancey.
Well, no, I just got really
there.
excited. I saved that monkey.
But it sounded a little bit like that Super Bowl commercial that was like Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
That was tough.
Sure.
But it was actually a well-told story. Both told great stories at 2 points.
Okay, at the end of this, can you change who gets 3, 2,
Fine.
1? Because that's really rude, and I
What
feel
is
like I
that?
should get 3.
It's a bird.
I have not. What?
So what is on that card?
A typing toucan?
Let's show that off to the camera a little bit.
Typing token.
Typing toucans.
Do you know
So
what a
you-
toucan is?
Toucan.
So-
That is a bird like a
tropical bird.
Yeah.
Kinda like a
Fruit
bird.
Loops.
Tropical. Oh,
Yes.
that one.
That is a toucan.
Okay, so typing.
Typing toucans.
Okay,
You
so
have-
am I starting now?
Ready, set, go.
So one time when I was younger, I had cereal in the morning. I was getting ready for school, went downstairs, and I had some Fruit Loops.
Oh.
And I took my first bite, and all of a sudden, a toucan
Toucan.
popped out.
Also known as toucans.
And started talking to me and then ran upstairs and grabbed my computer and came back downstairs.
Did it run?
This is a talking segment.
Yes, it ran, Connor, so that it could grab me before I went to school, Connor, and started typing in front of me, and I didn't know what to do with myself.
Or is no points an option?
This has to be the toughest.
Thank God it was only
1-minute
two cans and
monologue
not 3.
I've ever heard. So that is luckily time. So hopefully you learned a lot about toucans.
I am dead.
My goodness.
So luckily.
I think I might be with Kendall Jones here. Is there anything less than 1 point we can give? I wish.
Deduct points.
Yeah.
I'm usually not a big participation guy, but I feel like I just have to give you 1 point
so
for trying. So, Jordan, Rachel, thanks for the
John.
memories.
Thanks.
Typing toucans, but I will say Fruit Loops is a fantastic cereal, and it sounds like you had quite the experience before you went to school. Real
Question.
quick before we go to break.
You said 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. I feel like someone should get 3 points.
I agree with that.
Oh, 2 to 1,
But
baby.
it's definitely not you.
I just don't think the stories were 3-point worthy.
You don't think a lizard on stage saying, "Hit me, baby, one more time," is not interesting?
Ladies and
Because
gentlemen,
do.
I don't know if I ever want to do a game show edition ever again. This is a very, very tough position they put me in. But coming up next,
We need
have
a panel of judges.
Oh, man. We're not doing that. We're telling you what we got going on after break. How many beans in the jar? A classic game of that. Our final game. We'll see you right after the break.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Osiga Kaku. I'm from the great state of North Carolina, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Preston Para, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Clare from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Richardson. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and you'll see me at freedomsquare.com.
I'm Soraya. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
My name is Michelle DeGroot from Los Angeles, California, and I'll see you at freedomsquare.com.
Hi, my name is Emma Faye Redcan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I will see you at freedomsquare.com.
Join us in the fight for freedom. Welcome to Freedom Square.
Welcome back to TPUSA Live Game Show Edition. So our final game we have here is how many beans are in the jar, and I had left my seat for a second and they started eating them. So what we're gonna do is say how many beans were originally, when I set them on the table, were in the jar.
Way to go, Connor!
The closest to the correct amount when I put them there originally is gonna get 3 points.
So did you count them?
Oh, yes.
By hand?
By hand?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you
Yes.
didn't.
Of course
I'm
I
not
did.
going first.
Of course I did. We take this very serious. So right now, we got Connor with 12, Kendall with 11, and Jordan with 9.
Can we
so
hold
you
the
could
jar?
find your way to a sudden death. Final question.
Can we touch the jar?
No touching the jar. Just looking at the
You
jar.
already ate half of them.
We're going to
Become
start.
ungovernable.
We're going to start.
As he shoves more
We're
in
going to
his
start
mouth.
with Kendall Jones. A few minutes left. What do you got?
Oh,
Best
can't
guess.
touch. 524.
524. Producer Connor.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't know how to count.
That's tough.
So no, I'm gonna go
Just
with
throw a number.
six.
You just threw the game.
100? I think we're going to go with
612.
Not how many of you
Final
eaten.
answer.
We're just gonna-
612.
612. Jordan, Rachel, you could find your way tied for first place if you get the closest here.
Whoa.
What do you got?
720.
720. So
Is 20 your lucky number? What?
720. 614?
$1.
612. And then we had
524. I picked 24 because that was my number growing up.
So actually,
Drum
the
roll.
correct answer, drum roll please,
Drum roll.
is 533. Would you look at that? Kendall Jones gets
Did
3
I take the
points.
lead?
Look at this. With 3 points.
Wait just a second.
That takes you to 14 points. And you are our big winner. Jordan, Rachel.
Sorry about your bad luck,
I'm
bud.
so sorry. But Connor Clegg, valiant effort.
Thanks.
You're in the lead.
Congratulations.
Until it
I'm gonna give you about 20 seconds here. You know, eat as many beans as you want. How do you feel winning this?
Do you want a waterfall? It's an honor to know that how many beans are in the jar, you know? It's just a great feeling to know that I can count beans. So I just want to thank my audience, my fans, everyone out there. Mom, I love you. It's because of you I'm able to do this.
Well, that is it for today. What an incredible game show. Congratulations. Big winner, Kendall Jones. Well done.
It's an honor.
Producer Connor, thanks for joining us. Jordan, Rachel, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us too. Make sure you check out the live feed. You can go to tpusa.com/live feed. We also got one more hour of TPUSA Live here for you. What an incredible time. See you guys.
Welcome to our first ever political correctness and inclusivity training. First off, safety. Just want to make sure that everyone here is jabbed, right? Just kidding, none of my business. So I'm Dylan, I'm your HR rep. A little bit about me. I'm a white man, and I'm so sorry if that makes any of you uncomfortable. On to the first order of business today. We're going to be talking about diversity. And Josh, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Donde está la biblioteca? I'm from Colorado. I learned that from Dora.
Okay, second order of business. This is a mental health friendly workplace. Yes, Alex.
If we're really a mental health friendly workplace, what are we doing about the suicide rate of the birds? Because I saw 2 dead birds in the parking lot yesterday.
Alex, shut up.
Yeah, there's been a really big disregard for the bird lives ever since people in the office started sharing the birds are not real meme. Birds are definitely real. The government's putting chips in their brain, which is making them self-destruct and kill themselves, and we have to be talking about the real issues, or what are we doing here at all? Bird lives matter.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
That's what BLM stands for. That's not what it stands for.
She brings this up every time.
Why is Mitchell in a Pope costume?
Why are the snacks always not like this?
I think this went really well. All in all, this is a great place to work, and we're becoming more politically correct every single day.
In these United States of America, we American Indians, we can be anything we want to be. Except American Indians. If you want to see an example of failed socialism, go to an Indian reservation.
In my mind, from what I understand and what my family has told me through, stories, we were able to roam free. So we were very active, and we moved through the land, and we took care of the plants and the animals, but we also lived, in harmony, and I believe it was a beautiful time. We were a free people, absolutely free. Socialism, I believe, began with the Long Walk. The Long Walk was when Manifest Destiny crossed the United States. They had the railroads coming through. People needed to build homes, get to California, and the Indian nations were in the way. That's when they decided to send in the military, and they moved them across the reservation, and they were taken to a place called Bosque Redondo. People were killed along the way. A lot of the soldiers were very aggressive, so people did, the women did get raped.
Now we call it Huerte for some.
What does that mean?
Huerte means a place of suffering, dying, starvation, nothing good. Just like Nazi concentration camps.
They had an idea of turning these nomadic tribes, hunter and gatherers, into farmers. They wanted us to farm, but nothing was growing. So they were freaked out too, and I'm like, they don't think anyone really knew what to do. And that's when we called for, treaties. And after we agreed on it, the treaty is very simply written, and they allowed us to come home.
Washington, Yigako, Yinel Ago, Enedo, Adoni, Washington, Yigako, Yinel Ago, Esto, Netseto,
So they were given American names. You were given a CIB, an actual number, and then you were given family cards. And so there began your family tree. So that number entitled you to a ration, and that's where you began to get your what was due to you. So that's where the parameters of control, and we couldn't leave the reservation. Back then, no one had diabetes and nobody was overweight because we lived off the land and we moved a lot. But we were heavily assimilated where we became more dependent on the system. And that's where socialized programs came into play because there was never enough food, there was no refrigeration. So then let's start the commodity food program where everything came in cans, which were high sodium was introduced, high sugar was introduced, and so that's where the health of the people began to take a dive.
That system is rife with waste, abuse, and malpractice. It's been said and written that if you control the healthcare, you can control the population, and all that power and control over our lives, since healthcare sometimes is a life or death decision, is in the hands of the very bureaucrats and politicians in DC whom we don't trust. You know, many of the native tribes are seeking to have independent health care because of just all of the abuse.
You know, the values that they're really pushing currently are liberalism, and that's a stepping stone to socialism and eventually to communism. And that how I tracked it back, because I started to see how education was part of it. Now they control our education system. They tell us what we can and cannot learn. And as I understood that, that's when I pulled my children out of school. Because when they started bringing home applications, and I thought it was a job application, but when I looked closer at it, my son showed me it was a food stamp application.
I didn't realize how corrupt things were. I didn't realize what kind of environment we were living in. And I didn't realize what a socialistic community, how socialistic it was. It's really severe with some of my peers, my old peers, because they're in poverty and they don't know it.
Socialism benannt lagi ya de nebe beso
The people that we voted in to lead us, I mean, there's some good, yes, and there's some that, I mean, you hear about what they say and what they're going to do, but you know what? When they get in, it's the same thing.
So now, because of the government is in such big control, you have to ask the question, how is the most heavily funded in America tribe have the poorest population? The money that comes from the federal government is provided by programs. They don't give you checks. We don't get, you know, a per diem or whatever just for being part of the tribe. No, we get nothing as Navajos. Only way you can get anything from the government is if you are the lowest of the low. So basically, when you're in that environment, you basically have to sell off your freedom piece by piece in order to qualify for every little program. So the programs end up hurting us, and they numb us to what we actually need by providing us what they think we need.
I think those are the challenges that we're looking at in these socialist style governments where, you know, everything sounds great, is because you give too much power and control to a small group of people, and they don't want to give that up. The tribal government's controlling various aspects of commerce, of you know, utility management, of you know, the lack of private property ownership on the reservation. So, you know, again, all of these systems de-incentivize, you know, ownership. They de-incentivize people from, you know, opportunity, other than, you know, the jobs that exist within government.
So when the enterprises were created, they were essentially made to give skills to the Navajo people. And these enterprises were created to basically help introduce us into the modern age. And now they've morphed into something completely different in this modern age. The enterprises have become a for-profit entity for our own government. And that's what socialism has really wrapped us around, and now it's starting to show communistic characteristics.
Nenandnishiki tondadnishi banandnish aarkist ego hoye bi ne darolis eatisne socialism.
I had to teach my husband too, who was a product of socialism, hardcore socialism. And so he was only educated into the really heavy, hardcore reservation life.
All right. Growing up, it's been really tough. You know, I lost my mom when I was 5 years old due to my father drinking and I guess domestic violence and stuff. You know, I guess it took his anger out on my mom, my late mom. But I guess was so angry driving recklessly that my mom just didn't want nothing to do with him. And he jumped out of the vehicle with my 1-year-old brother. My 1-year-old brother survived, but he broke his right leg, and my mom died right there. So it's been tough, It's just been something that I don't think I've never forgot. I can't forget it, I can't, because I was there, and it's been a nightmare ever since I was 5.
And he witnessed all this, and so that was heavy, heavy socialism that my heart just broke for him. And when someone is in that prison and they get angry, I had to fight through that anger. And my theme, I always told him, is that I will fight you to save you.
Just recently, a couple of years ago, I lost my brother, I lost my brother to the exact same thing, but he passed away. And I always said that socialism took my brother because he turned to drugs, he turned to alcoholism, and he couldn't find work. And it's just, he wanted to check out, and socialism took him. And it really hurt my feeling that I couldn't help him, and I couldn't save him.
There are so many people dragging their feet and pointing fingers. And people like me, I can't sell a thing. Something's got to happen. And quit pointing fingers, let's all get together, get our heads together and do it. That's what I think, instead of pointing fingers, say, hey, no, let's all combine, let's all get together and let's kick this thing in the butt and move on.
I choose not to go in a socialistic state. I do not want socialism. I don't want socialism for her or for my grandkids. No, I don't want that for them. I want them to be happy and live their life to their fullest, bring happiness for their kids. It hasn't been working for almost, what? Yeah, and it sucks. Socialism sucks. There's no other word, there's no other way you can describe it. It fucking sucks.
Me as a mother, what do? You have to first take control of yourself, then you have to work with your spouse, and then you take control of your children, then you take control of your pocketbook, and then you decide to get off the programs. And how do you do that? Through self-sufficiency. So my life and my tale and my truth has been to fight socialism. And I'm hoping that I can wake up as many Navajos as I can, to tell them that you can do this.
I think the best way that we can honor our ancestors and everything that they overcame for us to benefit today from all of these opportunities is to become successful and to take advantage of the opportunities that they never had.
Freedom is everything. It's in everything. And so when socialism creeps in, it's scary because they don't give you a choice and you're just given what you're given and you can't say anything.
Yeah, even if I have to fight you to save you. And I think that's what I'm also projecting to my people. Even though they are so harsh on social media and they completely hammer at me, I tell them, I'll be here even if I have to fight you to save you.
How much does the earth cost? I'm gonna buy the entire earth.
Hey there, it's John Root. Coming up next on TPUSA Live, tune into a brand new episode of Politics where Alex Clark breaks down David Alburn's Death Wish, her favorite true crime comedy podcast, Disney's new horror movie, and so much more pop culture without the propaganda. Next on Politics.
I like to eat mangoes. I like to eat fruit. I like to eat apples and grapes too. I like to eat my fruit. I like to eat yours. Let's eat fruit every day, Santa Claus. Let's have fun. Let's get money.
Yes, bestie, let's! We are wading into some controversial waters, talking about surrogacy and Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's recent announcement. Bella Hadid says a few months ago she had to quit doing this because she couldn't control herself. And are we going to war? I have a very simple and quick explanation on the President Biden-Ukraine drama. And of course, Hot Take Tuesday, we're exploring if Adele is lying about the virus being the reason that she had to cancel her tour. I'm Alex Clark, and this is Politics. Nick Jonas and his wife Priyanka Chopra shocked everyone over the weekend by announcing they just had a baby.
Do you realize how huge this is?
The world was shooketh and confused because no one could remember Priyanka looking pregnant. Well, that's because she wasn't.
Sorcery.
No, it wasn't magic or sorcery. It was surrogacy.
By now you should know your bitch is pregnant.
Nick and Priyanka paid another woman a lot of money to carry their baby inside her womb for 9 months and give birth for them.
Hey everybody, I got some bad news. Doctor just called. I can't get pregnant. I don't have an uterus.
Here's where things get interesting. Nick and Priyanka didn't use a surrogate because they were experiencing infertility. According to the Daily Mail, they used a surrogate out of convenience because their busy schedules had gotten in the way. It's icky. Not gonna lie to you. I don't agree with this at all. I find it ethically and morally wrong that she was just too busy to carry her own child. I'm shocked Nick was down for that. Seems like that would be such a turnoff for a husband, no?
Here, baby. Jesus, Mom, that can't be how it works.
I told you Sunday night on the Politics Instagram story to listen to episode 552 on Ali Stuckey's podcast, Relatable, titled Big Fertility, where she interviews an expert on the ethical issues when it comes to surrogacy. Hopefully you did, because now, after hearing this news from Nick and Priyanka, I'm curious whether or not you find surrogate pregnancies ethical and acceptable. Let me know in the comments. Conservative court!
This one is positive, which makes 30 positives. But there was that one negative. The negative was a popsicle stick.
Supermodel Bella Hadid announced that she's given up alcohol for the foreseeable future after she started to feel like she couldn't control herself when she drank.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
Bella told InStyle that she's been sober for 6 months and said, I loved alcohol and it got to the point where even I started to, cancel nights out that I felt like I wouldn't be able to control myself. I don't feel the need to drink anymore because I know how it will affect me at 3 a.m. when I wake up with horrible anxiety thinking about that one thing I said years ago when I graduated high school.
While you're waiting for your tea water to boil, reflect on all of your regrets.
Any sober conservatives who can relate to this, I want to hear your story.
This is equal parts Scotch, absinthe, rum, gin, vermouth, triple sec, and 2 packs of Splenda. Call it a one of everything.
Oh my God! You know what's extremely boring and usually extremely overwhelming? Foreign policy. It is not my jam, but I have gotten several DMs over the last few days asking me to very quickly and simply explain the drama with President Biden and if we are about to go to war with Ukraine. So I'm gonna explain it all like we're 5.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Little disclaimer, this story is evolving literally by the minute, so there could be, some updates that I don't get to today, but never fear, I've got the current nutshell for y'all. So Russia's leader, Vladimir Putin, has put about 100,000 troops around the Ukraine-Russia border, which, let's be honest, is intimidating in the least. And now countries like the US are trying to decide how to de-escalate the situation together and fast.
Bye-bye, Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
One of the reasons Putin's being aggressive is because he's not a fan of Ukraine joining the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, aka NATO, the group that the US is part of that helps facilitate peace amongst nations, especially when there's some tension. Sort of like now. Putin is basically the school bully saying this kid, aka Ukraine, can't join the table with the rest of the students. And the West is mostly like, yes, Ukraine can sit here and hang out with us, and Putin just wants to ruin lunch for everyone by beating up this smaller kid. Usually, the US is the kid on the playground that no bully wants to mess with. We stand up for people and everyone's scared of us. Former President Donald Trump did an excellent job at establishing our strength as a nation. But President Joe Biden doesn't really give off the don't mess with me vibes. Actually, I'd say the only thing his cognitive abilities let him care about is how this whole situation might affect him personally. Like, just the other day, President Biden used the word minor in reference to this situation. And when I say he might be worried about this affecting him personally and why he's so frazzled about Ukraine, is probably because of his son, Hunter Biden. For some reason, in 2014, Hunter Biden went to Ukraine and was put on the board of the national gas company Burisma Holdings. It was super weird because Hunter cannot speak Ukrainian, and he has no natural gas experience, like at all. All he knows how to do is smoke Parmesan cheese out of the carpet. Sugar blood.
Hi, I'm a recovering crackhead. This is my retarded sister that I take care of. I'd like some welfare, please.
Now, here's another thing that's important. In 2016, when President Biden was actually vice president under President Obama, he fired Ukraine's top prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, after he started investigating the Burisma Holdings company. In fact, Fox reported that the vice president threatened to withhold $1 billion in critical U.S. aid if Shokin was not fired. So yeah, something strange be happening. After all this, if you were wondering if it's possible for a president to get a negative approval rating, I guess President JoJo Binks is gonna make sure we all find out.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
Are we going to war? I don't know yet, but it's definitely more possible now with President Biden than it ever was with President Trump. And check out how embarrassing this is. A Ukrainian official just said that there's no need for Americans to evacuate the Ukraine because he said it's safer there than it is for Americans in LA.
Just pretend like you sleep. Just pretend like you were sleeping.
Here's a couple more stories that you need to know. It's Hot Take Tuesday.
Hot Take Tuesday.
Shark Tank star and billionaire Mark Cuban just opened an online pharmacy so people can get affordable drugs. Oh! According to Forbes, the pharmacy offers more than 100 generic drugs at an affordable price with a goal of being radically transparent in its price negotiations with drug companies.
I don't like it. I love it, love it, love it. Uh-oh.
Forbes also reported that the company doesn't process insurance claims and requires customers to pay for their medications out of pocket, noting its drugs cost way less than most insurance plans' deductible and copay requirement. I think this is awesome. And this is exactly the kind of stuff we need to do to fix our healthcare system. What do you think?
You sell crack cocaine here?
I wish, but no. Just kidding. No,
What?
I'm not sure I believe Adele's tearful reasons for canceling her tour. Over the weekend, she blamed complications with the pandemic for having to cancel her entire tour. But allegedly, she had a lot of arguments with people behind the scenes, including her set designer.
Hello. Hi.
Sources close to Adele told The Sun that her Las Vegas residency was destined for disaster from the start. They said that Adele had explosive arguments with A-list set designer Esmeralda Devlin, and that in spite of the set costing millions to put together, Adele was unhappy with the result. You think Adele is blaming the pandemic so that she doesn't have to admit to fans that she's actually the reason the tour is canceled?
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazzin.
If you still haven't listened to Ali Stuckey's Relatable episode on big fertility, I really encourage you to do that.
I always listen to podcasts at 1/1/4 time speed or whatever you call that, and I get through them so fast, but can still understand what they're saying. Now, there's a little life hack for you.
Tap the heart, share your opinions on surrogacy and sobriety in the comments. DM this episode to someone you know who will appreciate the Ukraine breakdown, and tell me if you think we're gonna go to war. Share this episode to your stories. Ask people what they think of Nick and Priyanka using a surrogate just because they were busy, and hit that save button. That's very, very important. Please don't forget. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm Alex Clark, and this is Poplitics. Wow. Support Poplitics, the first ever conservative pop culture daily show, by subscribing to our channel, turning on notifications, and of course, hitting the thumbs up. Also, our main home is on Instagram. Seriously, just trust me, that's when the real magic happens. Follow us there at Poplitics.